Hello, hello, hello. The Orlando Magic's first Summer League game is in the books. I'm going to give you some of my notes, give you a few names of people that stood out, and the rest. We'll go over all the good, the bad, and the yikes. This is the Orlando Magic Nation, your source for all things Orlando Magic on YouTube. For Orlando Magic fans, by an Orlando Magic fan. I just wanted to thank you for clicking on the video and spending a little bit of time with me talking magic. While you're here, click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my daily Orlando Magic content and to join the Orlando Magic Nation. Special shout out to subscriber Jared Leto 2, who's helping the channel by being subscribed. Also, while you're clicking around, click the like button. It really helps the channel grow by having it shown a bit more. And again, this doesn't have to be a one-way conversation. So, in the comments below, add what you thought of the game, who stood out to you, who underperformed. And if you didn't watch the game, put your location just so we can see how far this channel is reaching. Or just put more information on, let's say, when you started being a Magic fan. Again, we want to keep this community going so that you feel like you're a part of something. So, first things first, we're going to go over the notes. I would say the big notes for me is the game felt helter skelter. Huh. Who thought you were going to hear helter skelter today? Basically, there was no flow, especially at the beginning of the game. The guys, you can see that they hadn't practiced very much together. They're not used to playing with each other. It felt very much discombobulated. Oh, it's another word. Another funny word that I'm using today. So that I think that to me was the main crux of it. Obviously, there's always going to be effort. If the person has Orlando on their chest, they're going to have effort. They're definitely going to be ones to not quit. So even though they were down by as many, I think, as 17 throughout the game, they always came back, came back, came back. I believe they tied it in the last couple minutes because they just are relentless. So that's obviously the good in that is that they're always going to be out there. They're always going to be competing. They're always going to be ones to do that. So I think for me, again, it just there's growing pains with it. Obviously, we have a bunch of rookies. We have a lot of guys that are trying to make a name for themselves as well, just so that they could either get one of our two-way contracts or they can make a one of the rosters of another team. Because again, you don't have to just take from your roster your two ways. You can go and pick someone else from another team if they don't get picked up by their team. So that's what it was. It just felt too manic at times. It was way too much energy, which is great. Did you want energy? But it just felt like nervous energy, and it just took a while for them to gel. By the end of the game, you can see they were starting to run plays, and everything was going along, going more in unison, which was great. But obviously, that's something that is to be expected. But that was just the thing that really jumped out to me. The bad part for me was the shooting. As we saw all of last year, the Magic were not able to shoot. Now, looking at the people that did shoot well, these are the ones that are going to be likely on the team. So that's positive. Specifically, Chase. Chase was the one that shot the ball best, at least the most efficient. So that's something that's very exciting to see that after his first game, he was able to feel pretty comfortable and be able to shoot in that way. So overall, the team again, a lot of these guys aren't going to be on the team, so it doesn't really say much about the Magic season ahead. This is more about the summer league guys. But even just seeing that, you could see that they just were not hitting from three. Sometimes there's a little bit of luck on that, but a lot of their shots weren't really that close, especially if you from Penda. That is what it is. So that is that. I would say if we're going to look at the box scores to give you some of the standout guys, these are the ones that I thought that really stood out. So Tristan was Tristan. For me, we know who he is. We know what he is. I think all we want is more of who he is and what he is. To me, he's much more of a Franz type. He's able to distribute. He's able to rebound. He's got good size. He's got good attention to detail a lot of the time. So I think that's what we want more of Tristan. And the idea of summer league is for the second year guys to really take ownership of that and to really feel like they command everything. And I think for me, I would have wanted a little bit more of that. Like, yes, he got his points. He led the team in scoring. But for me, it just didn't feel like he was I don't know. It didn't feel like he was as in control as AB was last year. I felt that AB last year in the summer league, it felt like he was in control of everything. Tristan, I don't know if he's just a nice guy. I don't know if that's what it is. He just doesn't have that alpha in that way to kind of command that this is my team, this is what it is, I'm going to be on ball. Which again, it's a good thing in a way because he's not going to be an alpha necessarily on the team. He needs to be able to fit in to an extent, but we're going to need more out of him this year. We're not just 7 points a game, 8 points a game. It would be ideal to get at least 10 points a game. And again, even if he's not scoring, at least dishing, at least pushing the tempo to be doing more and doing more. So overall, he had a good game. 19, 7 and 5 on 15, 8 for 15 shooting, two of six of from three. If you do the plus minus or you care about the plus minus, he was -7. So I don't know. It just felt like he was the NBA guy. You can see on the whole court, he was the NBA guy, and I don't know, it just didn't feel, like as he was as commanding as he had. So he had a quiet 19, but in that way, I was expecting a bit more from him. Then the rookies, Jase, I think he acquitted himself really well. Like he was 14-1-1, so I think the thing what we're going to ask from him when he does get playing time, because we really don't know what the rotations are going to be, is to come in and be that Cole Anthony type, be out there and just shoot, be out there and score, be out there and push. He had a really good pass in the last 2 minutes of the game when Etan Thompson passed it cross court and he threw it to the corner where Tristan was there for a knockdown three that tightened the game. So he's got good feel. Obviously, he looked comfortable. Like I think that to me was the positive because you never know how these guys are going to react. They're going to be nervous. They're going to be wondering, or you're going to wonder how they're going to be athletically and how they're going to do all of that. I think he did really well. I think he looked comfortable. He really changes the geometry of the court for the Magic, which I thought was really great. In that there was a couple times that he went almost down the baseline. He went down baseline and whipped a pass baseline. That was something that we really didn't have anybody on the team to do that last year. And he shoots. So that's going to be the positive, right? Like that's going to be the big thing that he's going to bring is shooting. Obviously, his body's going to get better and better. No offense, no fat shaming here, but he's going to get more NBA ready soon. He's going to put work in. Uh, I think that in that respect, it was very positive because the 2 for 3 shooting threes, 5 of 8 shooting in general. He finished through contact a couple times, especially one late in the game as well. So he felt comfortable. Like he was out there balling. The only concern was his gimpy right ankle. In the third quarter, he landed a little hard and came up limping, so that was a bit nerve wracking. But he checked back in the fourth, and he did some damage in the fourth. So I would say Jace is the one that really impressed from the guys that were kind of known in that way. Noah Noah, it was interesting because Noah had the ball more or dribbled the ball more than I was expecting. I watched some tape on him from France, but I don't know, it just felt different. It felt like they were empowering him to go and him be the one to dribble up. He had a couple turnovers, but I think it was a positive sign just to have again another ball handler. It's going to be good for the Magic just to have guys that can at least bring the ball up and go and do some stuff. He had a bit creativity. There were a couple of good passes that he had. He had one really good one for a dunk. I don't know. Like it just seemed very. He seemed comfortable as well to an extent, other than the shooting. That's the thing that's holding him back right now is the shooting. As you see, his line was 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 4 of 6 shooting, but 0 for 3 from three. So obviously, if you that's going to be something that we have to work on. So he was that's that. But with a +4. Sorry, I didn't talk about Jace's +4. Penda also had a +4 if you're looking for the plus minus. So defensively, again, he didn't have any blocks or anything like that, but I believe he had 2 steals. So defensively is where he's going to make his mark on the team when the rotation starts. So hopefully he's in the rotation. That's the thing that there is call. He hangs his hat on. That's his calling card is the defense. So anything we get offensively from him, I think is going to be a plus. Hopefully he continues to grow and continue to develop. So he has more of a knockdown shot because that's going to be something that we desperately need, especially from the corner. So they should literally just put him in the corner and just shoot 10,000 threes. Just keep on shooting from the corners because I think that's where they're going to need him to spot up. Well, I think what it looks like is that he's going to be the replacement for Jonathan Isaacs. If that's going to be something that they do in the future, if that's going to be one of the transactions, because that's always up in the air. That's always seems to be what's being talked about Jonathan being the odd man out. So if they were to move on from him, then Noah would really need to step in, and that's where he needs to be shooting the corner threes where that Jonathan normally gets. So that's a bit on Noah. And we'll go a little bit further or a little bit quicker on the rest of the guys because I think those were the big three because those are the ones that are likely going to be rotation guys. Maybe not as much Jase right now, but I think that's the idea is that those three are going to be the ones that are going to be on the opening day roster. So we really needed them to kind of show up and at least look comfortable. Obviously, if they have a bad first game, it's not the end of the world. They still have a few more to kind of showcase things, and they will get better over the rest of the summer. But we want something out of them, something positive, so that we can be happy about it. Then to go over the rest of the guys, the Etan Thompson. I'm going to say Etan because he's Puerto Rican. He scored 16 points, no rebounds, one assist. He's a gunner in that way. He of anybody, he had this energy about him. It's kind of felt manic at times, but it was just so energetic. But he had no rebounds and just one assist. So that's kind of his role, especially in the G League. That's his role. His role is to be out there shooting. So we need somebody to take over the Mac McClung scoring. So I think that's what Etan's going to end up doing. I shot 4 of 10, 3 of 6 from three, -2 plus minus. I would say the surprise of the game for me was, I'm probably going to butcher the name, Skal Labissiere. He Labisser, how that's how we're gonna say it. He had 14 points off the bench, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 8 from the field, and 0 of 2 from three with a +9 plus minus. He was the one. He was the one bright spot from the bench, or let's say the brightest spot off the bench because the bench struggled a bit in this game. He had a couple big dunks in the game. Like it was, he seemed like a man amongst men because he's a man amongst men. He's a bit older. He's at 29 years old, so he spent some time in the NBA. He had not just a cup of coffee like some of these other guys. He played 60 games in the 2017-2018 season for the Sacramento Kings. Scored 8 points a game, five-ish rebounds, one-ish assist. So he knows how to play. He's professional. He's just been out of the league. He spent a lot of time out of the league for a bit there. He was back last year, kind of sniffing around. So that's what he's doing now, showcasing a bit more of himself for the NBA. He's not eligible for one of our two ways, so it's really just going out and trying to find a roster spot by playing well. And he acquitted himself really well in this game. To look at the others, let's say, so our starting center was Kyler Kelly, 2 points, 10 rebounds, no assists, 1 of 4 from the field. He doesn't shoot threes, so that's that. That was a team high -12 for plus minus. So I think that he wasn't getting pushed around. They started the Kings started their rookie Menard Renault, and he felt like he had his way with him in in a lot of respects. But Kelly did get the 10 rebounds, so he finished the defensive possessions by getting the rebounds. So that was a positive there, but not so great with the plus minus. Jalen Crutcher was the only other bright spot from off the bench. There was like I mentioned, the Magic were down 17 at one point, and there was a couple. He hit back-to-back threes to kind of keep them within reach instead of it kind of becoming a blowout. So that. His line was 6 points, 0 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 of 6 shooting, and 2 of 5 from three with a -7 plus minus. He's another one of those gunners. So if we take him or if he's on our G League team, like that's going to be his role. His role is to shoot. That's it. That's all. Hopefully, a couple long rebounds come his way. Uh, at least in this game, the ball wasn't in his hands too much, so he wasn't the one making the plays. So that is I think that's going to be his role is to be a straight knockdown shooter. He can shoot, so as you saw, 40% from three. So let's just hope that continues and he continues to develop. The last one is Wendell Moore Jr. He only had 2 points. He missed all his field goals, and was 2 for 4 from the free throw line. 4 rebounds, 0 assists, -2, plus minus. The other guys on that played didn't score either, so I didn't really want to, or didn't score at all, so I don't want to put them on there. It could be like 0 points on 0 for 0 0. So that's pretty much that. So I would say that the first games in the books were fine. Ultimately, it was by the second half. The second half was way better, obviously, than the first half. So hopefully that they're going to build some continuity. They're going to build some momentum so they can go into their second game and start the game with a bit more flow and a bit more uh, cohesiveness. Because otherwise, if they have another start like that, then I think it's going to be a long summer league. Granted, it's 4 total games, so it's not going to be the longest thing. And a lot of these guys aren't going to be on the team, but we got to kind of always be looking to better ourselves, right? So that's that. So that's it. I just wanted to thank you for watching this video. I wanted to put it out. It's a little late, because life happens. But I'm going to be putting out the reactions and notes and standouts for every game this season. This is we're starting off and we're learning a little bit here with the summer league. So just know that the content's going to come out a bit more, a little quicker moving forward. I'm also, for those talking about my audio and all these other different things, I'm going to be, I've been investing on some things. So soon I'll have a microphone. So hopefully you can hear me better, and maybe some lighting aspects as well. So we're going to be adding a little bit more. And on the community basis, I'm going to be adding a Discord. So I'm waiting for me to be verified by Google so that I can send that link out in the community post so that, again, we can keep the magic conversation going. That's what we want. We want to be able to continue the conversation. I don't want this to just be me talking to you. I want you to talk back to me, and to continue the growth of the community, and continue getting to know each other. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much. We'll wait for the next game. Talk to you later. I hope you're having a great day.